So Blockstream satellite is probably one of our more interesting things out there. So this is a satellite service. So it's broadcasting the Bitcoin blockchain all around the world. We're using 4 geosynchronous satellites. They're about 30,000 kilometers out in orbit. And they're high-powered satellites. So what that lets us to do is broadcast to users on the ground with smaller home TV-sized dishes. So this helps add redundancy to the Bitcoin blockchain. So in the event of a network partition, you still don't have to have a network split as long as one person in a country is running this dish and getting blocks. And finally, we have the cryptocurrency data feed, which is a partnership with ICE. So ICE is the owner of the New York Stock Exchange and Bakkt. So what we're doing is we're collecting and scraping data from all the crypto exchanges and creating this crypto feed that is sold to institutional Wall Street investors.
We don't know what that does, but let me give you just one example. Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that management.
These companies on these listed exchanges.
Yeah, it's about time. I've been calling for it for years. I actually greenlit and produced a movie called The China Hustle that was about this very same topic. We've allowed Chinese public companies to play by their own rules and not to live up to USA accounting standards or even SEC standards. So this is long, long, long overdue. Literally, I've been asking for this for more than 5 years.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher, and guys, please like and subscribe. If you do like what you're listening to, please inform your friends and family. It is a very imperative time we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works. So please spread this video on social media, all of my videos on social media, especially the ones on the weekends where I make you think, because then you understand that everything is planned out. Now, I want to thank those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon, also those who purchased the book, Cryptoteacher NWO book. Now, guys, of course, what we're going to do, we're going to get into Bitcoin. Now, right now, of course, Bitcoin is flat. We see what? The actual stable coins over $1. That's why we're sitting. So the fact is that basically we know that Bakkt, we know they dumped before, a few days before or after. So it looks like Bakkt is, of course, dumping right now, and then after that, then we're going to take our leg up. Now, we know with Bitcoin, we have XRP is now an indicator as far as letting us know when the market is going to come up. Because, of course, Tether took XRP's spot. So the fact is that basically when we start seeing XRP even closely starting to go up, we know what? The market is about to go up. Does that mean what? Tether is about to pump the rest of the coins. So guys, remember, that's an easy indicator. Make sure you have a chart of all the actual stable coins. Now, getting into Bakkt, as you listen to the video, just like I stated, Bakkt takes all the information off of the exchanges, guys. It's all working intertwined together. Bakkt is the actual cloud. Remember who owns it? The New York Stock Exchange, guys. So that's not, make sure that we're conscious of this. And remember, the CEO went and got the Senate spot. She didn't even run for it. They just put her in it. So, guys, we have to make sure that we understand that. Plus, when it comes to Coinbase, Brian, he got the spot. Didn't have to do anything. Just give it to you. So, remember that our government is definitely being run by the banks. Now, we have blockchain evolving like the internet. We know that blockchain is going to be the internet. So we can clearly see that. Everything is going to be on blockchain. The reason why they want everything on blockchain, because that's going to take the humanity out. Computers will be able to talk to each other. So the fact is that a computer will be able to pay the computer. So all these transactions will be able to be made without a human interaction. So let's just make sure that we understand that also. Now, they have Bitcoin being a silent protest against the government. We know that Bitcoin is held by the government. So yes, Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptos would have been great. Remember technology, guys. Remember, technology in the right hands is the greatest invention for humanity. But in the wrong hands, it's the worst invention in humanity, because what it does is that it gives control all to one person. That's what any technology, guys. It's good and bad, good and evil, the yin and the yang. Now, we have Singapore's 3 arrows. Capital buys 6% of great scale fund, which is $3.5 billion. So that just lets you know, guys, more and more people are getting into grayscale, more and more people are getting into Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin is not sitting at above 9,000 for no reason. It's just not. So the way I'm looking at it is eventually it will be attached to some type of big asset, whether it's gold, so whatever. But it's definitely going to be, it's not sitting there for any reason. It's definitely a strategy behind it. Now, we had the government saying that, you know, they need a $2 trillion manufacturing stimulus. Now, guys, we know that when we went through the last Great Depression, the reason why we got out of the Great Depression is because we were the leaders in manufacturing. Everything was made in USA. What does everything say now? Made in China. Thank you. And what we don't want to do is get to becoming a manufacturing company, because yes, everything says made in China, but what happens over in China? Slave labor. We don't want to go doing no manufacturing. We don't want that. We don't want Foxconn over here. Foxconn had nets around the building because the workers were jumping, committing suicide. We don't want that. That makes no sense. So, guys, you have to keep a conscious mind. When they say manufacturing, like, oh yeah, jobs coming. No, you don't want those type of jobs. You don't want those. Now, we had Lebanon Central Bank, fiat crashes. We know, guys, the U.S. dollars use sanctions. You have to go through us in order for your country to eat. And that was the whole purpose of creating this fiat system. So therefore, they can apply sanctions and all that against different companies. So therefore, you must go through us. And also, we can control whether your country eats or not. And we've seen that in plenty of countries. Now, we have China, of course, going over the Mark Cuban video. We have China's currency rising. Of course, the Belt and Road Initiative. Now, guys, why would our SEC not be way more strict on a communist country, so-called communist country? So the fact is that, guys, all of our corporations are over in China. All of our corporations, that's why everything says made in China, because our corporations. So don't let Mark Cuban do the Hegelian dialect on you. Believe me, a lot of his money has been made from China. Basketball is humongous over there. There's billions. They know there's billions of people over there. So this is like you. If you have a product, you don't have to be very, very successful in order to sell over in China. You got billions of people over there. So the fact is, they know that. That's the reason why, you know, all the NBA, all that is being controlled over in China. All the big contracts, deals to the players are over in China. So the fact is that basically the reason why the SEC is not being stringent on them, because we already know the plan. China is going to rise and be that the new empire. Now, we know the empire is controlled still by London. We know that. But the fact is that the illusion of China, just like the same way America is, the illusion that we are the #1 country. Now, getting into the C word, guys, of course, they're going back saying we're having spikes. Guys, we know the C word is nothing but a distraction. They didn't say anything when the protests was going on, people holding hands and hugging and crowd. They didn't say anything about the C word. Now the C word is coming back. So guys, hopefully we're waking up towards the Hegelian dialect. We have to become, you know, conscious of our surroundings. Everything is planned. They moved in the C word, then they moved in the protests, and of course the C word created the mask. And then, of course, we had George Soros groups come in and create chaos that wasn't even the people living there. These were, you know, these groups, these open society groups that George Soros owned and created the chaos. So we just have to make sure that we understand, just like I said, everything is planned. But that's all I have for you guys. Don't forget about the books, Cryptoteacher and WO book. Also, if you're new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance, Also, we have your chip stocks, your bank stocks, your cobalt, your gaming. Don't forget everybody's sitting at home, the C word, the biotech stocks. And then also because everybody's sitting at home, what they're doing, drinking and smoking weed, don't forget about those stocks, and y'all have a wonderful day.